JF Stretford Paddock. This is the West Ham preview. Joining me is Adam McCall. How are you doing, brother?
I'm all right.
You're right. Look like you're losing the will to live, son. It's not that bad. Come on.
This place is going to kill me.
It'll be the death of all of us. David Moyes' West Ham coming to Old Trafford. United having a bit of a mixed bag of form going into this. Obviously, the great result against City, but other than that, it's just been loads of draws. How are you feeling about this one? You feeling confident?
I'm not,
Fair enough.
I'm not.
Got to be honest.
I'm not. This West Ham side's a side in good form at the moment.
Yes, we'll get to
obviously, Jesse Lingard missing for them is a good thing for us. Yeah. But they do have some threats which can cause us problems. And when you look at, we'll talk about our team news soon, and we'll look at our predicted 11s. Players that could be out for United could be massive for us. So I'm a little bit sceptical about this game, but I'm hoping that means when I'm sceptical, we usually pull a big performance out of the bag.
Yeah, that's true.
And I kind of felt like either side of that City game would probably drop points or draw those games. It's annoying though the AC Milan one because it just reminded me of the Everton game.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Last minute, almost last kick of the game. Some of those draws that you can see on your screen there. The Sociedad, we won 4-0 away. I'm not losing too much sleep over that. Chelsea away, all right, 0-0's never a good result, but Tommy Tuchel's Chelsea are decent. The Palace was shy. I'm not going to defend that. You mentioned about injuries. We may have no strikers by the time we go into this. It looks like only Mason Greenwood is guaranteed to sort of be fit. We don't know about Marcus Rashford. We don't know about your boy Anthony Martial, and it looks like Edinson Cavani isn't going to figure. I mean, a lot of responsibility on Mason Greenwood. Only one Premier League goal this season, but how do you think he's been performing of late? He led the line, didn't he, in the second half against AC Milan. How do you think he got on?
I feel sorry for Mace at the moment.
Go on.
Because whenever he gets the ball, he's got so much to do. I think that's the case for a lot of our strikers at the minute, or forward players. They get the ball, and there's so much on for him to be able to create an opportunity for himself. And that's what the problem is. They're having to create opportunities for themselves. Look, the pass from Bruno to Amad Diallo was an incredible pass, but putting that aside, over the last couple of weeks, when you look at those draws, Chelsea, all right, we should have had a penalty. But apart from that, do you see us scoring? Crystal Palace, don't really see us scoring.
Nothing.
AC Milan, there were large parts of that game where I didn't really see us scoring, although we had, two clear-cut opportunities from Maguire and Daniel James, which I think you score them and the tie's almost put to bed. But we're not creating enough chances outside of set pieces, and our strikers are suffering for it, whether it's Greenwood, whether it's Martial, whether it's Cavani, whether it's Rashford. They're all suffering for it. And I think we do need to it's hard because your turnover of games is so much and you're missing some key players, Pogba. I would say we're missing Donny, but team selection over the last couple of months suggests otherwise. Yeah. If he was fit, would he even be playing? So I think we are missing some of those players, and you can't rely on Bruno to pull it out of the bag. But every game, but people criticising Bruno after the AC game, I'm just like, what standards are you holding this guy? Are you holding him to Ronaldo or Messi standards? Because if you are, that's a bit weird. Do you know what I mean? Apart from Ronaldo and Messi, his numbers are as good as anybody's.
And like you just said, Daniel James and Harry Maguire take what are easy chances, and it's a 3-0 or 3-1 at worst, and everyone's happy. It's not Bruno's fault that didn't happen. Do you know what I mean? Like, why are we pointing the finger at him? There's others that you should be looking at.
It's what happened to Pogba, though, and it's why, remember when Bruno first came in, and I was like, lads, I think we need to be careful with what we're doing here, because when Pogba first came in, the numbers weren't as high in terms of goal output, but the chances he was creating, he was...
With Zlatan.
Zlatan, and then even that season where he was top goals, top assists, top this, top that. We need to build that team around these players, not expect them to be the one that just drags them through it. Or do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's a bit mental to me at the moment. It's like, I'm trying to think of a team, and the first team that's popped into my head, probably one that you should... But you remember Liverpool with Gerrard? Yeah. It's like, if he don't do nothing, but you need to build a team around him to enable to get the best out of them.
Yeah, because it's like you're looking at the guy that gives you a 9 or a 10 out of performance every game or every other game and saying he needs to do more when you've got a load around him that are doing 6 and 5 out of 10. Yeah.
And it's like... But I do think it's not down to particular... I think it's more of a team thing. the shape, off the ball movement, maybe how we're lining up isn't helping. Like I do think there's more of that in it than maybe any particular individual isn't pulling their weight.
What's pissed me off is the fact that Pogba and Bruno were dovetailing nicely. Like, if one of them wasn't performing, the other one would. Pogba, Burnley steps up. Fulham steps up. Bruno, 9 times out of 10, he'll step up anyway. And now Pogba's gone. It's just all on Bruno almost. You look at the numbers. You mentioned the numbers there. They're not great, are they? Other than Bruno. Rashford's are okay. Other players just nowhere near that. So, yeah, we are over-reliant on him. One player is having a good season. Got a goal sort of randomly in the derby is Luke Shaw. Some people saying that he's the best left-back in the league at the minute. You buying into that one? You watch a lot of football in the Premier League.
Who are we looking at as
Maybe
his competition?
Lucas
at the
Digne?
moment?
Is he?
Luca Digne is probably top notch for me, but maybe that Barcelona thing is a little bit of a bias, where he comes from, because he come from Barca and all that, didn't he?
Yeah, he's
Luca
somewhere else.
Digne, I think
so.
Or wherever he come from. But
I'm
I
sure
think,
producer Cam will Google that for us and tell us in a minute in our area.
Yeah. So you got Luca Digne who's up there. I think Ben Chilwell, maybe not Chelsea form under Lampard, but definitely up there. I think it'd be fair to put Luke Shaw up there on form. I think it'd be totally unfair to overlook him. Yeah, he was at Barcelona, Luca Digne. I think it'd be really unfair to overlook Luke Shaw. I think he's had an incredible campaign. I still think and again, this is as a team rather than individual, there's moments where we get caught out of position. There's big gaps in the fullback areas and all that kind of thing. But his passing has improved this year. His running and the intent behind his running. There's, like before, he used to make runs but not really make them. Do you get what I mean? It's like, look, Barca did it, but he's not really did it. And it's like some players can do that when they press. So they press without really pressing.
Yeah.
It looks like they're doing it, but there's no intensity. There's no real desire to get it. And that used to be Luke Shaw. His running used to lack that desire, the intent, the direction. And now you're seeing his runs are a lot more intelligent.
Yeah.
The way he's making them, the cutting inside and everything. It was something that, obviously, they played different football to Sheffield United last season. But do you remember the inverted fullback?
Yeah, they were very
He's
reliant
making
on
those
that.
kind of runs at times as well. So I think, Shaw's come on leaps and bounds. I still think the early version of Luke Shaw was the bollocks.
I think that
I
before
thought
the
it was
injury-
quicker.
Yeah, people were saying, I think it was Scott already who was on Twitter saying people have got like rose-tinted glasses when they remember about him pre-injury. But he was mint. Before that injury, he was. And I agree. I think he was the best he's ever played was then. But he's getting towards that form. It's not quite there, but he's been playing very well. And I think you've got to give credit where it's due. You mentioned about predicted 11s. We'll start with yours. This is the team you think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to pick for the visit of the Hammers. Who have you gone with?
I've had to change this a few times as well because, injuries and everything's up in the air. Martial gets that knock on his hip. I imagine Rashford was left out with this game in mind.
Yeah.
So I've gone with Rashford. I think he'll play Daniel James, Mason Greenwood through the middle if Martial and Cavani aren't fit. Bruno obviously in behind, McTominay, Fred. And then my back five is Shaw, Maguire, Bailly, Wan-Bissaka and Dean Henderson.
You've gone with Bailly. Is Lindelof, what do you say about Lindelof? Is he Lindelof available? Or do you think that Bailly's just first choice?
Yeah, that.
Yeah?
I think Bailly's first choice all day long. I think he'd be first choice if you're just picking one centre-back.
There's talk of a new deal, isn't there? Eric Bailly getting a new deal at United. You happy about that? Are you a big fan of his?
I can see why there'd be some doubts.
Yeah.
We've given deals to some players over the last couple of years, but if we're going to start doing this now with Eric Bailly, he's probably not the one to start doing it because he's actually a good player. Do you know what I mean? So I think I hope he gets a kind. But it worries you as well because he's at the stage in his career. How old is he? 25?
Yeah, he's something like mid-20s.
25. He came when he was 22, didn't he?
He's been here a few
years. So
years
he's around
now,
25, 26. So he's probably at the point of his career as well. If United don't offer the money he wants or the years that he wants, he might think I can get better elsewhere.
I mean, the thing is, when we were like briefly near the top of the table, I remember doing something on the radio and I said the only way I can see United sustaining this is if Eric Bailly had been playing, he played a few games on the trot and he'd been mint. I said we need him to stay fit. And then literally a week later, he was out for 3 weeks, whatever it was.
That Villa and Wolves game was big, innit?
That's what I mean. And if he's fit, he's probably, our best defender. He can't get more than sort of 6 or 7 games on the spin before he gets injured, and that's what you can't have that with a centre back. You need that relationship with a centre back pairing. I do think he complements Maguire very well. I think them two work well together. I just think there's just that age-old question with him. You know, how many games on a spin can you get out of him?
But you know what I'm pleased about is that he's come back and the injuries haven't been. His fucking knees gone for 6 weeks, 7 weeks. It's been little,
you know,
like I think one of them was because he had a crash outside Carrington. Like only Beek can do something like that. And then there's you know, was he driving around Carrington with a golf buggy or something, just spinning it around?
I told you, didn't I, about the time I saw him outside Old
Jackass
Trafford. I tell you, we was outside Old Trafford after the match day. It was when he was injured. And you know the traffic outside like Old Trafford obviously is relentless. Like, you can't move, gridlocked. This is down near the Trafford Parkway, right? Sort of half an hour after the game. No one's moving. Anyway, in the middle of there's like a traffic island in the middle. Next thing I've seen is Range Rover drive over the traffic island, right? Just sort of barging cars, like cars moving out of the way, like parting of the Red Sea. And as I looked up, I just saw Eric Bailly in the car.
Driving it?
Yeah.
Get out. Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah.
He wasn't Eric.
It was someone who looked a little bit like him. No, I get where you're coming from. Dean Henderson, obviously, David De Gea is not available, so I think he's still not available, is he? Still.
As soon as De Gea is available, though, he's going back in for me.
We're going to talk about, me and you talk about that a little bit later on. I'll go to my 11. It's very similar to yours, actually, but one change at the back is I've gone with Victor Lindelof. This is our predicted 11. I just think if Lindelof's fit, I think Ole will pick him, especially with Bailly playing the other night. Midfield is pretty much the same. McTominay and Fred. Fernandes. I've gone, right, this is obviously, I'm thinking there's going to be injuries and I'm not so sure Marcus is back in. If Marcus is fit, he'll start, but I'm not so sure he is, so I've gone with James, Bruno and Diallo as
I had
3.
considered that.
Yeah,
front 3.
I think that might be the case, and obviously Greenwood leading the line. As we spoke about...
I hate United for ruining his big day. Ahmad's big day. What a point. We would have went relentless with that propaganda.
I know, mate, I know. It was like one of them where you do it a little bit anyway, but you can't do it like you say. It would have been horrible. Like we would have been unbearable.
Yeah.
Was it like
shameless?
Is it like Mbappe step outside?
Best debut since Ronaldo.
Yeah, you know, like just over the top nonsense.
I love
proper
that
gets people angry. Like, what are you lot on about? Yeah, and we couldn't really because it got spoiled. I can't remember who scored. I can't remember the guy's name. That's
Simon Kjær.
That's it.
I know his name because he's a football manager legend.
You love that, don't you? Talking of football managing legends, David Moyes is bringing his boys.
Come on, David Moyes.
Hello, is that West Ham? They're coming up. Obviously, West Ham doing well under David Moyes. I know that's not the most amazing run of games, but they've got a couple of big wins in there against dirty Leeds and Spurs as well. It's doing all right. The 5th, I think.
In their last 5, we've beaten them. They've not had many fixtures recently, then, have they? If that's the case.
No.
No, was that in the cup? It was the cup, right?
Yeah, we played it, but it's 3-2, wasn't it, in the league at the London Stadium? That's where Mason got his Premier League goal. 3-1, sorry, not 3-2.
Yeah, Pogba scored a good one, didn't he?
It's when Dean Henderson did that ball that went over.
Oh, yeah, in and out.
The stands.
That was mint, I love that. They're in good form, man. I think West Ham are a good side, and, Jesse Lingard going in there has kind of been like a good little cherry on top of their cake.
He's playing well for a minute. I've been watching since he's gone now. I watched a couple of games. He looks like the old Jesse Lingard, doesn't he? And
smile on his face. He's happy. Like, I messaged him after he played one of his games. I was like, bro, I'm just so... it's good to see you playing football again. And I think you can tell that he is just happy to be back out there. And I think he might end up staying there.
And I mean this in a nice way. I know this sounds like contradiction, but I hope he does.
Yes.
Because I hope it's a success.
Declan Rice, are we?
Well, this nicely brings me on to the next one. Your mate, Declan Rice. Players to watch. One of them is Declan Rice. You can see there his stats. Have you turned the corner then on him? Because anyone who doesn't know, right, what I'm on about is Mr. McCullough here, because he's a big deal on social media, tweeted some comments a couple of years ago, 18 months ago, about Declan Rice. Go on, tell everyone what happened.
I basically just said I think he's overrated. This is around the period where everyone was saying 80, 90, 100 million for Declan Rice. And,
and I'm with you on that bit. That's ridiculous.
Whoa, what kind of figures are you saying? And then that went into a thing of me saying West Ham players that come through their academy occasionally a little bit overrated.
You did take it a bit far, didn't you?
Because of the old Rio thing, Carrick,
yeah.
Bobby Moore. Did he come through West Ham?
Yeah, probably.
Like, because of all the history they have, when a player comes through, they're like, oh, fucking hell.
Academy of Football.
Bobby Moore again.
Yeah.
Or like, they go over the top. But look,
And then
I also said stuff like the last successful player he had was Kieran Richardson and all that kind of stuff. Then Rio pulled me up on it.
Rio got involved.
And then Rio just took everything out. I should have spoke to him about that last week, actually.
You should have.
And then we played West Ham like a week later. They beat us 3-0. I tweeted like, the only thing that would have been worse about this is if Declan Rice scored. Without atting him, I never atted anybody, and he started liking my tweets within like 30 seconds of the me
I know
posting.
this sounds pathetic, right? But that makes me like him even more.
Yeah.
I do. I like that.
I like that.
Do you know what I mean? Because he's actually
He's a big SE Dons fan as well.
He's a big what?
SE Dons, so
Right.
he knows Strapsy and the boys. And
There you go.
look, I think I underrated him a little, or I underrated him.
Yeah.
I'm not overrating him now and saying he would be the resolution to all of our problems.
Nope.
I just think he'd be better as a 6 than Fredo McTominay. He's got a good ceiling. He can still improve. Obviously, he's English. You get all that kind of benefits out of it. And I think with Lingard being there, them probably wanting to keep Lingard.
Yeah.
It depends whether they get top 4, top 5, top 6.
Yeah.
But I think we could make a deal.
We could probably do with them not getting top 4, couldn't we?
Get Europa.
Get Europa. So he's like, right, I want Champions League football. We all have Champions League football. They want Jesse. We'll give him 50 million in Jesse. Everyone walks away happy. Another player that's been doing all right for them is Antonio. He's one of them, Antonio, I always think. Like, on his day, I know you can say this about anyone, but he is capable of doing
He's
bits.
an handful, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a handful. He falls into that category. His numbers aren't amazing. You look at him, he's probably like 1 in 4 or 1 in 3 or whatever in terms of goals and stuff. Slightly better there. 19 appearances, 7 goals, 3 assists. But you have to keep an eye on him. You can't just say, oh, Antonio's shit. He's not. He's a bit
He's
of
scored some big goals this season as well
of a
for them. And he's even if he's not scoring, he's causing you problems because of he can create like a sense of panic in your defense because of the way he is. And I think that's why I picked Eric Bailly.
Yeah,
Eric Bailly will just scrap with him.
That'd be a good little matchup.
Let's have a scrap.
Yeah,
Whereas Lindelof and Maguire, I think they feel threatened. They'll crumble a bit, shit themselves.
Yeah.
You know. So that's why Eric Bailly. But you got to give him a lot of credit. Where was that? He scored an overhead kick this season against someone. It was proper. It was in a big. Was it against Spurs? When they beat Spurs.
They beat Spurs, didn't they, recently? Saying that, I said I've been watching them. I've not watched that much of them, to be honest with you.
I have. They're a real good football team, and it's the thing that I think West Ham and Villa have done this season, which has been big credit to their rises, has been just balance in their team. When you look at their midfields, like it's just balance. It was the overhead kick against City, sorry. When you look at their team and the balance that they have in their team, the wingers and the strikers and the 2 midfielders, like you got Declan Rice in there, Souček's
decent.
We haven't spoken about him.
No, he's a very good player.
Fantastic. Obviously, just ahead of them, then they usually have Jesse Lingard. Great number 10, in my opinion. If not, you can call out someone like a Ben Rama, who's an absolute baller, man.
Yeah.
Then you got, Antonio up top, who's giving them a presence, someone that can build off. You got Bowen.
Bowen causes all sorts of dramas in
on
the
the
league,
other side.
didn't
And then who's the other fella on the other side? Was that Ben Rama or someone else that can go over there? So look, they've got so much talent and the balance in the team. Their fullbacks, Cresswell and forgot the other fella. Issa Diop at centre half. Quality. They got a very
decent
good
team. But like you said earlier, I'm hoping that since Jesse's gone there, he's a massive impact. So I'm hoping they're going to miss him.
They love Jesse. Jesse is. You could tell Jesse's the man around on the camp. Big man on campus around there, isn't it?
I loved it when
he walks around with his medals on.
Yeah. When he got the penalty and he went to take the penalty and Declan Rice took it off him. Do you remember see that?
And he missed his last one.
Yeah, he got the rebound, didn't he?
Yeah, what a joker.
And then like they were joking afterwards. I saw on Instagram like Declan Rice was joking with him. So yeah, he's obviously loving life. The last time we got the last 5 times we played him, West Ham. You can see there. I mean, relatively positive from United.
I think that's the defeat when he.
Is that the one where you were getting a bit of stick when he was liking your tweets for digging them out and that? Yeah, well, it serves you right. Other than that, a draw, and yeah, we've been all right against him. Like West Ham's not a team that you really think, we've got a bad record against him. But like you're saying, they are doing well. They have got some good players. And we're missing quite a lot of players, so it could be a difficult afternoon or evening for Manchester United. Give us your score predictions then, Arkid.
If I put money on it, I wouldn't predict this. I'd probably predict a draw, but I'm going to go 2-1 Manchester United.
2-1 United.
Just because
Said with all the confidence of someone who's got a gun to their
I
head.
am worried about this game.
I don't like it when you start saying this. You were saying it. Was it you who was saying it the other week against? Was it Palace? Was it Joe? I can't remember. I think it might have been you saying like, "I don't fancy this one." I was like, "What? We'll do these." Your famous last words. Oh no, it's Joe against Sheffield United, wasn't it? Yeah. I'm gonna go. We'll listen. West Ham without Jesse. The shit. We'll do him 3-0.
God.
Famous last words. Get involved in the comments. Let us know what you think the result will be. Give us a like as well and a share if you're not doing it. If you're not subscribing, make sure you subscribe. You know where to find him. He's all over socials, arguing real Ferdinand and Declan Rice about West Ham's Academy of Football. We'll be here as well for the West Ham watch along. It'll be, I think it's Joe, Freddie Quinn. We're going to be hearing from him post match. We'll have Adam McCullough. He's Adam
I might
McCullough.
get Bazinga on as well.
Oh, mate.
I haven't asked him.
Ooh.
I'm just going to put the camera up and say, have you looking at, mate? And he's going to go like,
And
he's going to tell me to fuck
him,
off.
Mate, don't give it any. Just tell him, come on, sort your head out.
So tweet Bazinga and say, holler at me. I'm going to be with him on Sunday.
Yeah, you'll be with him on Sunday, so you better get him. This has been the West Ham preview. Thanks for watching.